Welcome back. All right, so we've got 11 games on Saturday. Two of them start really early, and then they're kind of throughout the day. The interesting thing is the last one start at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 5 o'clock Pacific. Fingers crossed, because that would mean an early night for me. So hopefully none of these get pushed back to later. I know I've just jinxed it. The NHL is going to watch this video and go, hey, let's move one of those to 7 o'clock Pacific. Really mess up Shannon's night. Let's do that. So 9:30 in the morning, my time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The New Jersey Devils in against the New York Rangers. New Jersey's 14-22-6. The Rangers are 21-16-6. The Rangers have won 4 out of 5, or 4 out of 6, I should say, between themselves and New Jersey. Notice that because I wrote down all the games, that I was able to catch that one. Although I think I would have figured that out anyways, because the Rangers have definitely had the better of the matchup lately. So this is, going to be a chance for Shesterkin to maybe win 3 in a row by shutout against New Jersey. But let's look at how this season series evolves. So New Jersey won the first 2 meetings. January 19th, they went 4-3. February 16th, they went 5-2. And every game since then has gone to the Rangers. 6-1 on March 4th, 6-3 on March 6th, 3-0 on April 13th, and 4-0 on April 15th. The Rangers are 6-2-2 in their last 10. New Jersey's 2-6-2. My guess is the Rangers find a way to win 5 out of 7 against the New Jersey Devils. And remember, they've still got another one left after this one. So we'll see how it goes. Also at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, which means there'll be a game or a game review of these 2 games together tomorrow afternoon. The 28-12-4 Washington Capitals in against the 20-17-6 Philadelphia Flyers. Washington's won 4 out of 5 in this series so far this year. And again, the first game of the series goes to Philly 7-4 on February 7th. I remember that was a sloppy game. But since then, it's been tighter games and Washington the whole way. March 7th, 3-1 win for Washington. March 11th, 5-3 win for Washington. March 13th, 5-4. April 13th, 6-1. So 5-5 in their last 10. This could be the cure for what ails the Capitals. They've just been all over the place. Sometimes really good, sometimes really iffy. On the Philadelphia side, they're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Then at 3 o'clock Eastern, so 2.5 hours after those games start, the Pittsburgh Penguins are in against the Buffalo Sabres. Do not take Buffalo lightly. Pittsburgh 27-13-3. Buffalo 11-25-7. Pittsburgh's won all 4 meetings between these teams so far this year. And, of course, that started March 11th. So the misery of Buffalo, a big part of it is playing against Pittsburgh. 5-2 on March 11th, 3-0 March 13th, 5-2 March 24th, and 4-0 on March 25th. So 2 of them are by shutout. Over their last 10, Pittsburgh's 7-2-1. Over their last 10, Buffalo's turned things around. They're 5-2-3. So we'll see if they can secure an upset tomorrow. It'd be remarkable if they did. I'm not betting on it. I don't bet, but that, it's interesting, isn't it? Then at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, the Ottawa Senators, these guys here in against Montreal. And I'm taking Ottawa and wearing Ottawa because it is back-to-backs for Montreal. Montreal got a huge win over Calgary. So if they suffered a setback against Ottawa, that would kind of be with the rest of Montreal's season where it's one step forward, one step back kind of thing, right? So Ottawa's 14-26-4. The Montreal Canadiens, I don't know why I was trying to say Washington. I'm just tired, I guess. 19-13-9 Montreal. Ottawa's won 4 out of 7 in this season series so far. So February 4th, Ottawa wins the first meeting 3-2. February 6th, Montreal wins 2-1. February 21st, Ottawa wins in overtime 3-2. That was an infamous game if you're a Montreal fan. February 22nd, in a shootout, Ottawa wins again 5-4. So March 2nd, a measure of revenge for Montreal with a 3-1 regulation win. April 1st, Montreal wins 4-1. Their most recent meeting, April 3rd, was won by Ottawa 6-3. Ottawa over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. Montreal's 5-5. Again, it would be perfectly in line with the rest of their season if they suffered a setback after that big win tonight. 6 o'clock Eastern, so 2 hours difference before we get into the final game between Arizona and St. Louis. They played 7 in a row against each other. 4 out of those 7 were won by Arizona. So right now, St. Louis is 19-17-6. Arizona's 19-20-5. If Arizona's going to have any chance, they need to win this in regulation and hope for some help as well along the way. But winning this one in regulation will help them out a lot, right? So the meetings between these teams, February 2nd, St. Louis wins 4-3. February 4th, it's a 4-3 win for Arizona. February 6th, it's a 3-1 win for Arizona. February 8th, it's a 4-3 win in a shootout for Arizona. And then the momentum switches. February 12th, 4-1 in favor of St. Louis. February 13th, 5-4 in favor of St. Louis in overtime. And then February 15th, the final game these teams played against each other, Arizona wins that one 1-0. Over their last 10, both of them are below 500. St. Louis is 3-6-1. Arizona's 4-6. Your guess is as good as mine on how that game turns out. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, we only have 4 games starting. That is small. And again, think about Thursday, where 9 games are on all at the same time. I don't have that problem on Saturdays. So it's a Thursday thing. 7 o'clock Eastern is the start time for Carolina at home against Nashville. Carolina's won all 5 meetings so far this year. Nashville's got to turn that around. They've only got 1 point in the 5 games against Carolina. They're 24-20-1. So the one, that's from a game against Carolina. Carolina's 28-10-4. So they've got 10 points against Nashville. They want to make it 12. January 18th, they won 4-2. March 2nd, they won 4-2. March 9th, 3-2 in overtime. March 11th, 5-1, and April 15th, just last night, 4-1. So, yeah, last 10 games, Nashville's 7-3, Carolina's 6-3-1. If you're cheering for a team that's below Nashville, tomorrow you are a fan of the Carolina Hurricanes. You also may be a fan of the Nashville Predators if you're cheering for Florida or Tampa, as they're playing each other at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific as well. Florida, of course, coming off of that loss had to smart. They're 27-12-5 now, are Florida. Tampa Bay's 29-12-2. Tampa Bay's won 3 out of 5. So to start the season's series between these teams, February 11th, Florida wins 5-2. February 13th, it's a 6-1 win for Tampa. February 15th, it's a 6-4 win for Florida. So they played 3 in a row against each other, and Florida won 2 of them. March 21st, that game goes to Tampa 5-3. And April 15th, last night's game, Tampa wins 3-2 in overtime. And of course, that was the Vasilevsky show. We're going to see if it's that way again tomorrow or not. Over their last 10, Florida's 6-3-1, Tampa Bay 5-5. Some of the better teams in the league right now, their records over their last 10, a little bit spotty in comparison with the rest of their record. That happens. In terms of power rankings, I try not to overreact to that kind of thing, but it is something to watch as teams are going into the playoffs. Very often, the team that's hot going into the playoffs will continue that run. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Chicago, 20-19-5, in against the 16-23-6 Detroit Red Wings, who are very game. This is the last meeting between these teams. 5 of the previous 7 meetings have been won by Chicago, and Chicago won a bunch of them here. January 22nd, 4-1. January 24th, 6-2. So those were relatively easy. February 15th, 3-2 in overtime. February 17th, they win 2-0. And then February 27th, Detroit finally wins the first game for them, 5-3. February 28th, it was a 7-2 win for Chicago, which did not make Detroit very happy. So April 15th, they win 4-1. So this will round out the season series. We'll see if Detroit can win another one. I wouldn't necessarily bet against them right now. Also at 7 Eastern, the Oilers in against the Jets. And this is where I could see the game being delayed, if only because Hockey Night in Canada likes to have the 7 o'clock start. But again, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it doesn't, because you got a 4 o'clock start here, 7 o'clock start here. So just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Don't. I've waited all day. Like, they're going to change the start time, aren't they? Because the Canadian games, it doesn't matter. You don't have fans in tents. They're going to change the start time. They've done it before. They haven't done it yet. For Oilers, they're 25-15-2. For Winnipeg, they're 27-14-3. Edmonton's won 4 out of 6 in this series so far this year. January 24th, Edmonton wins 4-3. The next 2 games go to Winnipeg. 6-4 on January 26th and 6-5 February 15th. So the idea that it's all offense in the North, those games definitely help to keep that narrative going. It's calmed down since then. February 17th, a 3-2 win for the Oilers. March 18th, the Oilers win 2-1. March 20th, the Oilers win 4-2. Oddly enough, even with Draisaitl and McDavid, if the game is tight and low scoring, it probably favors Edmonton. If it's a wide open game, that seems to favor Winnipeg. Over their last 10, Edmonton 6-2-2. Winnipeg is 6-3-1. So similar records right there, and we'll see who wins tomorrow. It is in Winnipeg, so Winnipeg should have a good chance, but Edmonton's been off for a while. We'll see if after a full week off they're refreshed and they're good to go, or if they come out flat in this one, right? It also at 8 o'clock Eastern, so an hour later, 5 o'clock Pacific, San Jose will be in against Minnesota. San Jose will be looking for a little bit of better puck luck. I would think because Jones started tonight, maybe they go with Kozanosh tomorrow. It's probably going to be Kakkonen in net for Minnesota because Talbot played tonight. For San Jose, 18-21-4 record. For Minnesota, 26-13-3 record. And now both of them have won 3 times in the season series. January 22nd, the first game in the series, 4-1 win for the Minnesota Wild. January 24th, San Jose wins 5-3. February 22nd, Minnesota wins 6-2. March 29th, in a shootout, San Jose wins 4-3. March 31st, San Jose wins 4-2. And then April 16th, Minnesota won 3-2. That was tonight's game. Last 10, San Jose's 5-5. They have lost 4 in a row in regulation. And for Minnesota, they're 5-3-2 in their last 10. So we'll see how this goes tomorrow night between these teams that should be quite familiar with each other. And there's still one more game left between them, which I believe is in San Jose. So, also at 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And this, again, please, NHL, leave it this way. Last game of the night, 15-21-9, Columbus in against 16-14-12, Dallas. And Dallas has won 4-7 between these teams. And they've gone to overtime twice, and they've both won in extra time against each other once, which is amazing because neither of these teams can win in overtime or shootouts. I'm surprised it's still not going. February 2nd, the first meeting was won by Dallas, 6-3. February 4th, Columbus wins 4-3. March 4th, Columbus wins 3-2. March 6th, Dallas wins 5-0. March 13th, in overtime, Columbus wins 4-3. March 14th, Dallas wins 2-1 in a shootout. April 15th, last night, Dallas wins 4-1. If it follows that pattern, Columbus wins tomorrow. So if it follows the same pattern, every 2-game set between these teams has been a split. We'll see whether or not Columbus is able to rile up enough energy to actually get the split in this series, or if Dallas makes it a 5-3 series for themselves. And if they get some help from Carolina, Dallas can pull themselves within shouting distance of a playoff spot. It's not going to be easy because they don't have as many wins as other teams, so they'll have to beat them in points, but it's possible. And it is bizarre for me to say it with the way Dallas has played some of the season, but 5-2-3 in their last 10. They've got, 13 points in their last 10. Nashville's got 14 points in their last 10. That's where those overtime and shootout loss points come in handy, and I've talked about that before. And, of course, for Columbus, they're 2-7-1 in their last 10. It's been a steep dive for them. And unless something dramatic happens tomorrow, when I get to the power rankings, don't be surprised at the ranking for Columbus being kind of probably the lowest they've been this year. But hey, let me know your winners for tomorrow's games in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. It means a lot. I will talk to you again soon.